agricultural extension. Milk for all ages. In the past, as in the present, babies are born crying, whether in a poor cottage or in a lavish palace. All they need in their first months is their mother's milk, which is the basic prop for their nutrition till the age of 2. Every mother is able to breastfeed her baby and produce a milk flow that is enough for her child and maybe more. Healthy mothers should be convinced that breastfeeding is very necessary for both their health and that of the baby, and also necessary for the mother's breast health. Mother's milk is the only perfect food for the baby in his first 4 or 6 months, and it is very necessary to feed him colostrum from birth, where the milk contains all the necessary nutrients and components that protect the infant from many infections and illnesses. Mother's milk is a clean and perfect food which needs no pasteurization, easy to digest, its temperature is stable, and the baby can have it whenever he wants. On the other hand, natural breastfeeding can help the mother's body return to its natural shape. Moreover, it reduces the possibility of breast cancer in the future. But a breastfeeding mother needs special and particular food in order to give good milk and to be able to make up for what she has lost. Whatever this particular food costs, it still costs less than bottle feeding, which consumes the quarter of a poor family's income and sometimes half. Bottle feeding can lead to health degradation and diseases. However, with breastfeeding, the infant grows and his health flourishes. Breastfeeding can be continued for 2 years, but it should be supported with other foods as of the 1st or 5th month. The child has to gradually get used to eating eggs, butter, potato, and then mashed vegetables, lentil, chickpeas, and bean soup, and later on hashed meat. Finally, when the child reaches the full ablactation stage, he would be able to eat solid food and the usual family meals, but he still needs milk and its byproducts. This need accompanies man throughout his life because everybody, young or old, male or female, pregnant women or breastfeeding mothers need the necessary and various nutrients that is contained in the milk and all its byproducts. Milk and its byproducts are one of the best foodstuffs that the human being can be fed on, because they contain the most needed nutrient, and milk proteins are the best proteins and the easiest for digestion and absorption. However, health and safety rules require not to drink milk unless it is boiled, and even leave it boiling over a low heat for about 15 minutes. Despite the fact that milk spoils easily and couldn't be conserved, it can be transferred to various kinds of food products that are different in taste and usefulness. Everybody in our country knows how to make yogurt. But a lot of people have no knowledge of what useful elements yogurt contains, neither are they aware of health and nutritious value of the whey made after straining yogurt to make dried yogurt. The white cheese is also one of the well-known milk byproducts. Concerning this, we have to point that it is very necessary to boil cheese in boiling water in order to kill all the bacteria that may cause diseases. However, we can make white cheese free from any disease-causing bacteria. We heat 10 kilograms of milk on a low fire while stirring continuously to avoid it sticking. We use a probe to measure the temperature, and when it reaches 73 degrees, we put the fire off and leave the milk to templify until the temperature lowers to about 38 degrees. Then we dissolve in a half glass of water half a tablet of animal abomasum pill and melt in another glass about 2 grams of calcium chloride to help the milk that we had previously heated to 73 degrees to curdle. After adding the two materials to the tepid milk, we stir it, put the lid on, and cover the container tightly with a thick cloth for 1 hour. Then we cut the congealed milk up in length and breadth to facilitate the straining of the serum. We remove the curd milk to a gauze cloth on another container to strain what has remained from the serum and separate it from the cheese. Moreover, we put some weights on this bundle, and finally, in half an hour, we get the local sterilized cheese. Then we cut it up and add salt according to need. We can also put it in a salty solution to keep it, as we may eat it soon without resorting to the boiling process. The resultant serum of the different cheeses can be boiled to get cottage cheese, which is useful and cheap. The housewife may also use it in different foods and sweets. Moreover, the surplus can be sold in markets, provided it is presented in an attractive and safe way. Furthermore, there are other kinds of cheeses, known in some areas and unknown in others, such as the acid cheese or the Circassian cheese. This cheese is rich with the useful proteins and no chemical materials are used in its making. It could be noted that it does not need boiling or sterilizing, but can be kept for a long time, even out of the freezer. When the milk boils, a little of the strained yogurt serum is gradually added and stirred. And then the heat is turned off and the congealed milk is removed to a strainer. The cheese is then pressed until it takes the shape of the mold. Then a little salt is added if it is to be consumed soon. If it is to be used later, maybe in a year's time, then the amount of salt is increased. If the cheese is to be used for sweets, we don't add salt at all, but keep on pressing it. Then turn it to the other side till this side too is shaped by the mold. This cheese too can be consumed immediately as it is pasteurized to start with, or it could be used in sweets or kept in the refrigerator for over 2 months, provided it is turned every now and again. It will be kept for much longer without refrigeration, provided it is kept in a well-aired place and turned occasionally. With the best regards of the Ministry of Agriculture and Agrarian Reform.